Hello again, YouTube family. Thanks for joining me on this video. Today we're talking about, once again, Governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. The Florida governor announced today he signed an executive order banning vaccine passports. He said the state legislature is working on making this prohibition a law. Companies here and around the world are working to develop such passports. The hope is that this vehicle, the vaccine passports, will be able to help society and businesses return to full operation by managing entry to buildings and events. New York State has already launched its own version of a vaccine passport, and theirs is digital. It's on your phone, convenient, simple, really intuitive in modern American society to do this kind of thing. New York's launched their own. I postulated, I don't know how many videos ago now, on a previous episode of the channel, that this perhaps could be used to convince some of the misinformed anti-vax folks to get the vaccine. You have some of these folks who are listening to these right-wing politicians, to Fox News, Newsmax, OANN, and now, since there's a Democrat president, they're all vilifying the vaccine, they're vilifying everything about it. It's ridiculous, but dangerous for this country, certainly dangerous for the world, although most of the places around the world are intelligent enough to say, yeah, we want this to be over, so let's do this. Let's get the vaccine. Let's get a vaccine passport. Let's make sure everybody that's going into events, into restaurants, into businesses, have the vaccine. DeSantis' claim is that requiring these passports to attend events, dine at restaurants, or go to a movie theater would create two classes of citizens. Yeah, the intelligent and the unintelligent. I mean, once everyone has the ability to get the vaccine, if you don't get it, that's just dumb. Period. I don't care how much you think that Bill Gates is somehow injecting something into the vaccine that's going to track you everywhere you go, because for some reason some dude worth over $100 billion gives a damn where you're at on a 6:35 on a Tuesday. It's ridiculous, the conspiracy theory crap and everything that's come out of the right wing. They're hurting their base, they're hurting the country, they're hurting their states. The order signed by DeSantis states the prohibition is necessary to protect the fundamental rights and privacies of Floridians and the free flow of commerce within the state. It also prohibits any Florida government entity or its officials from issuing such passports. So Ron DeSantis is basically saying, I'm prohibiting these passports from being issued in Florida to anyone in Florida. And if you're a mayor or whatever, some lower level official of a municipality within the state, you also are not allowed to issue these. His order also says businesses are prohibited from requiring patrons or customers to provide any documentation certifying COVID-19 vaccination or post-transmission recovery to gain access to, entry upon, or service from the business. It is absolutely insane what DeSantis is going to here. He is a Republican. These are the folks that claim that they're opposed to big business, they're opposed to Big Brother being in your business, and here he's saying that, or they're supposedly lovers of the free market. They love the free market, and here he's saying, nope, I like big government. I hate the free market. I'm not going to let businesses decide how to operate their business. I'm going to dictate to them how they can do it. And I'm also going to dictate to lower level leaders within the state what they can and can't do with regard to this. It's absolutely asinine. It's like these most right-wing, most Trump bootlicking Republicans in the country can't help but drag this coronavirus out. I mean, coronavirus was the thing that killed Donald Trump the most in his election. And it is just insane that you have people like DeSantis who are doing this to the people of Florida, to the businesses. And DeSantis is trying to prove that he is the dumbest governor in the country. I mean, you've got Kristi Noem of South Dakota, who is trying to give him a run for his money. Earlier this week, she was on national TV trying to explain that she doesn't know what infrastructure is. As the governor of a state, and granted, her state's got the population of the size of a big city, so she's basically like a mayor. She's like the mayor of the state of the mayor of the city of South Dakota. That's what we should refer to Kristi Noem as, just the mayor of the state of South Dakota. But Marjorie Taylor Greene of QAnon fame, of being one of the most ridiculous people in Congress, has also been on the anti-COVID vaccine passport bandwagon, and she called the vaccine passports Joe Biden's mark of the beast, because while people are being stupid on the right wing, she didn't want to be left out. She wanted to hop right in there. I mean, the idea of coronavirus passports is not even Joe Biden's idea. He's working now with businesses in America to try and come up with a cohesive, across-the-board system where everybody can be a part of it. Because, again, like if New York did the phone thing, but what if you don't have a smartphone? There are still some people in this country that do not have smartphones. There are people that work for a living and can't afford them. They're barely getting by as it is. So, whether it'll be a card, something for your phone, something one or the other, we'll have something, hopefully, from the federal government, something that works with all businesses across the entire country. Many businesses in the U.S. have been working with the Biden administration to create immunization credentials. Many of the businesses have said they will require them from patrons, including some of the businesses in Florida have already jumped on board and said, yeah, we want to do this. We want our employees to be safe. We want our customers to be safe. We absolutely want to be a part of this. And you've got the most ridiculous right-wing Republicans in the country coming out full force to try and stop something that is among the most sensible things you can do. I mean, DeSantis in his order said that he's prohibiting these for the benefit of free commerce in his state, which is just asinine that you think you're going to have commerce on any level close to what it was pre-pandemic when you're actively working against making this stuff safer. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand how we can have so many elected representatives that are so absolutely clueless. I don't get it. But That's where we are at right now. You have the vaccine that's getting rolled out at a really, really high rate. Joe Biden initially wanted to have 100 million vaccinations by his 100th day in office. He reached that point by, I think, his 54th day in office. And so now he's shooting for 200 million. 200 million or more vaccinations by his 100th day in office. Lofty goal, and honestly, it looks like we're on pace to get there. Meanwhile, you have all these Republican governors that are opening up their states, DeSantis being one of them, saying no mask mandates, no social distancing, everybody can open up, full capacity, let's pack everything in, let's make it as dangerous as possible, and see if we can't squeeze as many deaths as possible before Biden helps to get this thing over with. It's insane. It's insane. I mean, you had Miami just recently declaring a emergency situation because there were so many people on spring break that showed up in Miami. You had the residents there in Miami worried because, let's face it, Florida has an aging population. I mean, the people at the funeral homes in Florida, I assume, have frequent visitor punch cards. The population there is so old. And all these Republican governors are trying to open everything up right when we're on the cusp of getting there. We're almost there, and they couldn't just be sensible. They couldn't give a damn about people's lives enough to just stay the course and get us through this. And now, as we're getting the vaccines out, we have the variants popping up in the country. We have some amount of question as far as how secure we will be once we get to that point with the vaccinations. We'll get there. I mean, we're getting the vaccinations out fast. I am surprised. That is certainly one of the things I would say Joe Biden has done an excellent job on, is getting the vaccines into people's arms, as he puts it. Great job there. But you've got the Republican governors in this country working against the system, working against the American people, working against trying to get us beyond the coronavirus and back to some semblance of normalcy. It's like they can't just do the reasonable thing. I don't get it, but hopefully somebody will challenge this executive order in court. If the legislature is actually trying to make it a law in Florida, hopefully that will get challenged as well in court, and hopefully we will have the courts turning this thing over and saying, no, you can't force people to be unsafe. I mean, you've got DeSantis trying to tie the hands of subordinate officials in the state. You've got DeSantis trying to dictate to businesses how they can and can't operate their business with regard to this vaccine and trying to get us beyond the coronavirus. And there's a good chance Ron DeSantis is going to be a Republican presidential primary candidate in the near future. And the way this party's going, maybe they'll vote for him. I don't know. It's insane. But thanks for watching. Have a good day.